Hi, everyone. This is Gabe from Innovative Manufacturing. We're the manufacturer of the AutoHot system. It's a hot water energy management system for central domestic hot water systems in commercial and multifamily buildings. And just a little bit about us. We manufacture controls that are geared towards saving water and energy in residential and commercial hot water systems. So some of the things that we make are recirculation pump controls, temperature modulation controls. Our systems collect data and they perform remote monitoring with auto fault detection and alert notifications. So today I'm going to talk about our commercial systems, which are ideal for multi-family and multi-unit buildings that have a lot of hot water use. So multi-family buildings, hotels, motels, student dorms, any type of larger commercial building that uses a lot of hot water. Think about like taking showers and things like that. That's where this system is most applicable. So our control features include recirculation demand control. And so that's designed to reduce distribution heat losses and improve system performance, while at the same time reducing wear and tear that's associated with continuous recirculation. It also has temperature modulation control. This is a temperature reset control strategy that helps reduce the amount of gas that's being used by turning down the temperature during off-peak periods of demand. Our systems collect data, both real-time and historical. It tracks multiple data points. We have the option to add remote monitoring capabilities, and we'll go into details about those features, along with auto fault detection and alert notifications. So let's talk about temperature modulation controls. So this is a control that we can install in any multifamily building within SoCal gas service territory at no cost. And what this control does is it automatically adjusts the water heater temperature based on hot water demand. So during the peak periods of hot water use, the temperature remains at its existing state. But during the low periods or no periods of hot water demand, like for example, in the middle of the night, it automatically turns the temperature down to save on gas. So this control strategy typically saves around 10 to 20% of your total hot water energy use. And it's a tried and true control strategy. Sometimes they call it temperature modulation. Sometimes they call it a temperature reset control. So this is built into our energy management system. And again, if you're a multifamily building in SoCal gas service territory, we can install this at no cost. So let's talk about the remote monitoring aspect of the controls. So the AutoHot has remote monitoring capability where we can not only control your system, but it will monitor it from any device, any location, from anywhere. And it will track and record the performance data in real time, as well as capturing historical trend data analysis. You can also set it up to send you customized alert notifications. And it's a very low-cost energy management system. So it'll work on any type of domestic hot water system. The sensors are non-invasive, so it's very easy to install. And the controls as a whole can reduce your total hot water energy use by up to 30%. So here's an illustration of the typical data points that we're monitoring. So the controls have three temperature sensors, which we call T1, T2, and T3. We put one on the storage tank, just above the storage tank, and that reads the temperature at which we're heating the water. We put another temperature sensor back by the recirculation pump on the return pipe, and that tells us what the return line temperature is. And then we're putting a temperature sensor on the cold water inlet downstream of where the return line connects to it. And we call this the cold water inlet temperature, or the return line mix temperature is another way to describe it. In addition to these three sensors, we have the ability to add two more temperature sensors. So if we wanted to measure, say, like the ambient room air temperature or outside air temperature, or some other, maybe you have a split return line, so you have another second return line. we can add 2 more sensors to this, temperature sensors. In addition, the control is going to automatically, by default, track the runtime of the recirculation pump. And then we have up to 4 inputs to track the runtime of other devices. So maybe there's a pump that's circulating between the boiler and the storage tank. We can track the runtime of that. If it's a gas boiler, we can track the runtime of the blower fan, which is an indication of runtime of the water heater. So then you can actually start to calculate how much gas is being used over a period of time. And if it's an electric heat pump water heater, then we can track the voltage at any given time of day, so we can track actual energy use by the heat pump water heater. So once you log into our platform, you can see that there's multiple, there's a dashboard that shows you the main sensors that we're tracking in real time. It also shows you the recirculation pump runtime over the past 24 hours. We can also view it in a graph illustration. And so when you go onto the graph page, it'll show you the last 24 hours of temperature data on that system. And you can go back to any period of time you want. You can go back a week, 2 weeks, a month. You can isolate it to one particular moment in time. So let's say a week ago on a Saturday at 6 a.m., you wanted to see where there was, where the temperatures were. Maybe someone was complaining that they didn't have hot water, 3 days ago at 6 p.m. You could go to that exact time to see if your temperatures look normal or if there was some irregularity. We can also make controls changes and adjustments remotely once it's connected to the web app. So if we have our temperature modulation control set or our recirculation pump control set, and we need to make an adjustment, maybe there's a tenant complaint that the water isn't hot enough, or maybe it's not getting there quickly enough, we can just simply log into the account and make those changes remotely from this screen here. And then finally, we can set up customized alert notifications. So this enables the building operator or the property manager to set up customized alerts to send them an email or a text message when certain parameters are not being met. So for example, if our hot water supply temperature ever got below 100 degrees over a time interval of 5 minutes, send me an alert. So this way, the building owner or the property manager will get notified of an issue before the residents or the tenants even know that there's an issue. So the benefits to remote monitoring is that we can prevent or minimize system downtime by being proactively alerted to issues or problems as they happen in real time. It will reduce tenant complaints. We can maintain the efficiency of your domestic hot water system. We can control the temperature settings and recirculation controls remotely, and data can help pinpoint issues. So we can actually use the remote monitoring as a way for functional testing and for troubleshooting. So with that, now I'm going to quickly show you a live demo version. So I'm going to stop my share screen. And now I'm going to go to our web app platform. Okay. Now, once you have the controllers installed and they're connected either to an open Wi-Fi network, or if there's no open Wi-Fi network, we can use a cellular router and use cellular connectivity to establish this connection. However, when we add cellular, there are monthly data fees that are associated with that. But let's say, for example, you got it connected to your building's common area Wi-Fi. And now all you have to do is create an account. So you go to www.autohotems.com, and this will take you to this landing page. You're going to go to create a new account. And then you're going to type in your information, who you are. Are you maintenance staff? Are you the management company? Are you the property owner? Or maybe you're the service contractor that has the maintenance agreement. Then you're going to type in the name of your company, your name, email, cell phone number where you want text messages sent. And then you create a username and password. Okay, so once you do that, then you're going to log in. And now for this demonstration, I'm just going to log into a sample account. And then once you log into your account, you're going to go to the upper portion of the screen where it says sites. And then this will have all of your buildings listed. What the ones that are connected, it'll show you a very quick snapshot of the real-time temperatures that are being monitored, the pump runtime over the past 24 hours, whether it's connected or not. Then what you want to do is hit show. This will take you to the main dashboard screen. So all of these temperatures that we're looking at right here are in real time. This is what's actually happening. It shows you our alerts, notifications, and the last alerts that were sent out. Any notes that you want to make, you can include here, and then where the controls are set to. So now let's go to graph, and here we see the last 24 hours of data. And let's just if you want to take out any of the graphs to make it a little more clean and easy to read, you can just do that by clicking on above. So these green vertical lines are recirculation pump runtime. I'm just going to click this and take that out just so that we can look at just the temperature data. I can see here that my storage tank temperature data is very consistent over the past 24 hours. And if I want to go back the last 48 hours, I can just simply do that. Or if I want to go back for the last week, and if I want to specify a specific time, I can do that right here. Now let's go to the settings page. This is where we can make adjustments to our temperature modulation schedule. And then down below here, these are our pump control settings. So all of these things I could change right now, and it would change the actual settings at the location. So you never have to go back to the building once it's been connected. And then here are the alert settings that we have set up right now. If you wanted to create a new alert setting, you could go up here and either do a new temperature alert or a runtime alert. So if we were to create a temperature alert, you would just simply figure out what you want to be notified about. If it's about the hot water return temperature, the cold water inlet temperature, the storage tank, or maybe you have a mixing valve. And if it goes at or above a certain value over a certain interval of time, then it will send you either an email or a text message. So that is how the remote monitoring platform works. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at 866-495-2734 or info@autohotusa.com, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks very much.
Gabe, I have some quick questions for you.
Sure.
Can you explain to me again what a temperature modulation controller is and how is it hooked up to my water heater or boiler?
Sure. Yes. The temperature modulation control is just a control that we add to an existing water heater. And what it does is that it modulates the temperature where we have it set. It's regulating the temperature of your hot water. So like, let's say, for example, your typical commercial water heater is set at 130 degrees, and it's set at 130 degrees 24/7, right? But it doesn't need to be. So what we know is that during the periods of very low hot water demand, during off-peak periods of use, so let's say, for example, in the middle of the night, we can actually turn that temperature down to a lower temperature, still have sufficient hot water for the building, but we're going to be saving because we're not excessively heating or overheating the water that's not being used. So that's the concept of temperature modulation, or another word for it is temperature reset. It's a very simple retrofit, so we can retrofit most existing water heaters or boilers, and we do it within about an hour. And it doesn't require shutting off the hot water system, so we don't even need to notify anybody that there's going to be a disruption to hot water service. So it's a very fast, easy, non-invasive type of a retrofit.
Okay, that makes sense. But what happens if I have any problems with my hot water supply?
Good question. So if we install one of our temperature modulation controls and there are any issues that's a result of the controls, we will go out there and we will make a very simple adjustment to the controller. And again, if it's connected to the Wi-Fi platform, we could make that adjustment remotely. But keep in mind that every building is unique and different and has different characteristics with regards to not just the water heating equipment, but more importantly, the distribution of hot water, the network of pipes and plumbing that's running through the building. So from time to time, we do need to make an adjustment. So just know that if there's a problem or an issue, just call us. We have technicians that can go out there and service that and fix it. And if it has nothing to do with the controller, oftentimes we can give you a diagnosis and give you an idea of what might be causing that.
Okay, thank you. I have solar thermal installed at my property. Then the remote monitoring works with that. Can you explain what it monitors and how that works?
Yeah, so a solar thermal system, for people that are watching this, if you're not familiar with a solar thermal system, that is it's using rooftop collectors that preheat the water that's coming into your building so that your boiler or your commercial water heater doesn't have to fire up as often or as frequently because they're getting free heating from the sun. Now, the thing about that is those systems only work as an auxiliary, meaning that it's assisting the boiler. It's not the primary mode of water heating. So if your solar thermal system ever goes down or goes offline, then the tenants are not going to be aware because your boiler is just going to continue to fire up and make up for any additional heating that needs to occur. So a lot of times with a solar thermal system is that if a pump fails or something happens where it no longer is operational, the building owner isn't even aware until sometime after, and oftentimes it's many months after the fact, and it's only when they've gone to the building site and they've seen that their solar thermal tank is not hot. So with this remote monitoring system, we can actually connect this to a solar thermal system to send you an alert as soon as there's a problem or an indication that the thermal system is no longer functioning. That way, you will know right away that you need to service the equipment or you need to figure out what's going on there. But at the very least, it's going to tell you that your solar thermal system is no longer producing hot water. So just this by itself will ensure the persistence of energy savings over the life of any solar thermal system, because it's guaranteeing that you're always going to know whether or not your solar thermal system is actually working. Does that answer your question?
That does. So as much as I like remote monitoring, is it really contingent on me having one of these temperature modulation controllers? Like, what happens if I don't have Wi-Fi throughout my building and I just don't want a cellular router and a tower? What happens if I just don't want this? Can I still get the controller that'll help me save on my gas bill?
Yes, under the SoCal Gas program, we can still install the hardware to perform the temperature modulation control. And the monitoring is it's an optional feature. So whether you choose to do monitoring or not, you can still get the controls and receive the benefits of the gas savings by going through this program.
And the gas savings per month is around 20%, correct?
Yeah, we estimate that it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20%, conservatively speaking.
Okay, thank you. And can you tell me again what the number is to AutoHot and your website?
Yes, our number is 866-495-2734. Our email is info@autohotusa.com. So call us or email us if you have any questions, if you'd like to enroll in the SoCal Gas program, or just have any general questions about your hot water system and what controls might be right for you.
Thank you, Gabe.
All right, and with that, I think we'll conclude. Thank you very much for your time.